Gang, Bronco Carl 92 here. So it's Tuesday, September 24th. Today's episode, part 2 of the Jeep Cherokee knock sensor code. Okay, so we're going to dig into this tonight. Jim called the guy a couple times, doesn't answer the phone. Big surprise. I actually looked this thing over. It looks like it's been hit a couple times too, but I don't know what to say. Anyhow, so I got a knock sensor here and some intake manifold gaskets. So I'm basically going to pull this baby apart and change out that one knock sensor, and we're going to hope for the best. So anyhow, let me get you set up. I gotta blow this this dirty engine off. A lot of dust and stuff all over it. Don't know if that was intentional or not. It's kind of strange. But I'm gonna get this all cleaned up and start taking some stuff apart, and take you along for the ride. So back in a sec. All right, so we're making some progress here. I got basically the top of the engine stripped off. I just gotta get this bit of dust off of here. I pulled 5 of the 6 coils out, and I just wanted to show you now that we can see a little better. If you look back there, there's our nice pinched wire, which, like I said, is kind of funny because that's not even where the knock sensor is supposed to mount. So I'm going to take the vacuum, I'm going to get this dust off of here, and I'll get the intake top off, and I'll put you back on. Alright, well, I think I figured out why this was moused and not done properly. That intake, although it looks like, oh yeah, I'll just pop the bolts out, yeah, it doesn't really want to come out. And you can see that the top of the firewall is starting to get chewed up there. And I noticed that when I started, that it was like that. So I think someone actually tried to pull this intake out and then gave up. I really don't know how the hell they want you to do it. So I'm going to fool around with a little bit more, and I'll put you back on. Alright, I got it out, and I'm really not proud to admit it, but I actually had to cut the firewall insulation here. It was the only way I could get enough clearance to get that thing to come out, and you know, it allowed it to slide on the metal here. So now I'm looking at the old manifold here, and I can see that someone was definitely messing around with it, because there's sealer around just this port here, and I guess the rest of them were fine. So I guess whoever tried doing this job the last time did it that way. Now, the other thing that's interesting is that the code is for the circuit knock sensor 1. This here, which is the one that they left disconnected here, I'm pretty sure that's knock sensor number 2, because this is bank 1. This is 1, 3, and 5 cylinders, and this is 2, 4, and 6 on this side. So I think, considering that this wire is like fused to the engine here, I bet you that's the problem there, and not this sensor. So the other thing too is this is that sensor. Look at that nice smash. So maybe this was actually functioning. I don't know. My gut says replace this sensor here. I wish I had 2 of them now that I have all this apart, but let me get this out and let me take a look at it, and I'll put you back on. Alright, so I'm going with my gut. I'm going to replace the one with the melted wire. So knock sensors are very sensitive to torque. You can't make them too tight, you can't make them too loose. So the spec's 18 foot-pounds. So, which seems really freaking tight. Okay. And I said, since it said knock circuit 1, And like I said, bank 1 makes the most sense. So I'm going to clean these ports up here. I'm going to swap the gaskets out and obviously plug these things in, and we're going to drop the manifold back in place. Now this was totally melted to the top of the engine, so I would say that this is likely the issue. Right there is actually shorted to the block right there. So anyhow, keep our fingers crossed. All right, so our intake's ready to go back on. I actually had to file down with the longboard this one mating surface. I think this engine got hot because it was a little warped, and there were high spots and low spots and all kinds of neat stuff. So I planed this down and I opened up the spot here for the gasket to fit in, and I'm hoping that this is the last I'm ever going to see this thing. But I also put some aluminum tape down in the valley there underneath the sensor wiring so it doesn't melt again. It'll reflect the heat down. So I'm going to put the little blanket back in there and jam this intake manifold back in place. So I'll put you back on in a bit. Alright, so we got the intake back in. It's torqued down to 12 foot-pounds in the torque sequence. And I'm going to go get a drink because I'm thirsty. And I'm going to button this baby up and see what happens. So I'll put you back on in a bit. Alright, here's a little tool tip. This sleeve here slides and takes up the distance over here when you tighten the bolt. Well, after you take it out, after you unbolt the compressor or the alternator or whatever has this sleeve, it's very tight to get back in place. So what you can do about that is you can take a socket that fits over it and a C-clamp, and just tighten it. And sometimes it's stiff, so take a hammer, just give it a little tap. Tighten a little more. A little tap. And what this will do is it'll give you clearance again. So you can see that the sleeve actually moved back. So the compressor should fit back into place real easy now. See if I can put the camera somewhere. Hold on. And then you just take your bolt, slide it in. See, we got plenty of play this way. So once we tighten that up, it'll actually draw that sleeve back into the spot it's supposed to be in. Let me tighten these up, and we'll get you back on. I can put the belt back on, and I think we're pretty much done. Alright, so she's running. No strange noises. Not like any leaks. I guess if you leave the battery disconnected long enough, the check engine light goes out. So I just turned the scanner on it and the codes are gone. So we're gonna have Jim drive it for a couple days and see what the story is, see if we get any codes back. So anyhow, definitely have to say that on a difficulty scale, that thing was a solid 7, probably an 8, a pain in the ass. So anyhow, as always, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you soon. Take care.